Benjamin, the Tasmanian tiger. Named Benjamin, he was the last living species from the Tasmanian tiger group. The Tasmanian tiger was a carnivorous marsupial mammal, often described as resembling a tiger or a wolf. In the past, this animal's habitat was widely spread across Australia and Papua New Guinea, living in eucalyptus forests and grasslands. They were nocturnal animals with a solitary lifestyle. Since the early 1900s, their population declined drastically, and by the 1930s it was stated that fewer than 50 individuals remained. They became extinct due to many factors, ranging from human hunting, diseases spreading between populations, to the loss of their natural habitat. The last known individual, named Benjamin, was recorded in 1933 at Hobart Zoo, in the region of Tanzania, where he lived alone at the time. On September 7, 1936, Benjamin was declared dead due to hypothermia in his enclosure, marking the complete extinction of this animal from the face of the earth. Celeste, the Pyrenean ibex. The Pyrenean ibex was the first herbivorous mammal to go extinct. It belonged to the mountain goat family and lived in the Pyrenees Mountains, along the border between Spain and France. This animal had a robust body, grayish-brown fur, and large curved horns, especially in males, which were used for fighting and dominance. In the past, Pyrenean ibex lived on rocky mountain slopes, alpine forests, and high-altitude grasslands with a lifestyle based on small group living. Since the 19th century, its population declined drastically due to excessive hunting and diseases transmitted from domesticated goats. By the end of the 20th century, the Pyrenean ibex population was reduced to a single individual, Celeste, who lived alone in Ordesa y Monte Perdido National Park, Spain. In January 2000, Celeste was found dead after being crushed by a fallen tree. With her death, the species was officially declared extinct in the wild. An attempt was later made to clone this animal, but the cloned offspring died. The heath hen. Named Booming Ben, he was the last individual of the heath hen species, a type of bird described as endemic to Hawaii and belonging to the same group as the prairie chicken in North America. The heath hen originally inhabited open grasslands and sandy coastal areas, especially in the region of Massachusetts and on the island of Martha's Vineyard. During the 18th to the early 19th century, the heath hen population was considered very abundant. However, due to land use changes into settlements and agricultural areas, combined with large-scale hunting, their numbers began to decline rapidly in a short period of time. The last individual, named Booming Ben, was known to live alone on Martha's Vineyard and was kept under strict supervision by conservation officers. He was given the name Booming because of the distinctive sound he produced during the mating season, even though there were no females left to respond to his call. In 1987, Booming Ben was found dead from natural causes, marking the official extinction of the heath hen. George, the Hawaiian tree snail. This animal was one of the most unique land snails in the world, famous for its brightly colored, spiral-patterned shell. He was George, the last remaining Hawaiian tree snail of his species. This snail lived in the mountainous rainforests of Hawaii, clinging to tree trunks and leaves and relying on high humidity and stable microhabitats to survive. In the 19th century, Hawaiian tree snails were still found in large numbers and were even part of local Hawaiian culture. However, since the early 20th century, their population declined drastically. The main factor behind the extinction of this species was the introduction of invasive species, especially predatory snails and rats, which were brought by humans to the Hawaiian Islands. On January 1, 2019, George was declared dead, marking the official extinction of this Hawaiian tree snail species. George the giant tortoise. This tortoise can perhaps be imagined as Oogway, the master character from Kung Fu Panda. His name was Lonesome George, the last Galapagos giant tortoise of the species Chelonoidus abingdoni. This animal, whose habitat was on Pinta Island, belonged to the same family as the radiated tortoise from Madagascar. Although giant tortoises as a whole are not completely extinct, this specific species of Galapagos giant tortoise was known to have only George remaining. In the 19th century, the population of this animal was very large. However, due to human activities at sea, where these animals were used as living food reserves on ships, the population declined. The last individual, named George, was known to live at the Charles Darwin Research Station. He was cared for and closely protected by staff. Breeding attempts were also carried out, but genetic differences among giant tortoise lineages prevented successful fertilization in the females. In 2012, at an estimated age of around 100 years, George finally died. Martha, the passenger pigeon. Around the 1800s, the population of this animal still numbered in the billions. However, within just 100 years, that population declined drastically and eventually became extinct. This is Martha, the last remaining passenger pigeon from a population that once numbered in the billions. The passenger pigeon was a wild pigeon that was once the most abundant bird on Earth. Its habitat ranged from southern Canada to the eastern United States. Their way of life depended on living in very large numbers in order to survive. According to reports, the extinction of this species was caused by several factors, with the primary one being mass industrial hunting, which turned this animal into cheap meat used as food for slaves and workers at that time. The last known individual, named Martha, was recorded to have died on September 1st, 1914, due to old age and the inability to survive while living alone. Today, Martha's body is preserved and stored at the Smithsonian Institution. Baiji dolphin. It was the Baiji dolphin, a freshwater dolphin endemic to the Yangtze River in China, often referred to as the goddess of the Yangtze. Since the 1990s, the population of this dolphin species was known to number fewer than 100 individuals. Habitat isolation, combined with the increasing number of vessels passing through their habitat due to economic growth and river-based transportation, is believed to be the main factor behind the extinction of this animal. The last individuals were confirmed to still exist in the early 2000s. However, during a large-scale survey conducted in 2006, no members of this species were found in the Yangtze River. Even so, some researchers still believe that to this day, there may be one or two individuals still alive in the Yangtze River, although their existence has not yet been confirmed. The Panamanian golden frog. Around the late 20th century, the population of this frog could still be found in the wilds of Panama. However, in less than 20 years, its numbers declined extremely drastically, leading to functional extinction. The Panamanian golden frog is an amphibian endemic to Panama, well known for its bright yellow color with black patterns, as well as its unique behavior of using hand movements to communicate in noisy river environments. Its natural habitat is located in Panama's tropical rainforests, especially along rocky rivers and clear-flowing streams. Its way of life depends heavily on clean and humid environments, making it a species that is highly sensitive to ecosystem changes. According to various scientific reports, the main cause of the disappearance of this species was not hunting, but the rapid and deadly spread of the chytrid fungal disease.